Hey everyone, it's Christian here, and I have another palm review, and this one is going to be Ptychosperma schafferi, otherwise known as Schaffer's palm. Now, schafferi is native to Southeast Asia, as are most Ptychospermas, and Ptychosperma is a large genus of palms that are native to mostly Asia and northern Australia for a couple species, and into parts of Oceania, not too far in, but the majority of it grows in Thailand, Vietnam, some parts of southern China, I believe, northern Australia, Papua New Guinea, Indonesia, those sorts of areas, and it has a widespread distribution. The most common of them all is what is known as the solitaire palm, or Ptychosperma elegans, which you will often see in malls planted as an indoor palm. It doesn't do that great as one, but it does okay. So this one is a little bit more uncommon, although it does have a lot of the aspects of some of the more common Ptychospermas, such as Ptychosperma McArthuri, is a clumping type that has a similar stature to this, but the leaf is definitely different. Now the leaves on these are going to be a lot thicker and more leathery. You can see there's a wider leaf to it. And one thing that is, now unfortunately the hurricane kind of blew this apart, but you can see this right here. This is supposed to be an entire terminal leaflet, the terminal leaflet being the last one before the end. And this should be, not be split like this. And it is just from the wind damage. So, it's a crown-shafted clumping palm, and this palm actually, I gave it to the owner of the garden in 2005, and in 2010 we had a really bad freeze here. I think it got down to 27 in this exact place, and the good thing about clumping palms is if one trunk dies, does not mean all the trunks die. So the main trunk actually died, the clumpers came up, and it is now back up to a regular size plant. It's probably about 15 to 17 feet tall there at the top, and has about 10 to 12 trunks there. So yeah, it's a vigorous grower, and it's a really beautiful plant. It doesn't take up too much room, and yeah, it's actually in seed right now. We have, I think that's actually viable seed. Sorry, my left arm is pretty much done for. What does you see that look like viable seed right there? Looks like it up there, and the main trunk is putting out seed. And one thing that I want to mention about collecting seed on certain palms, and this is a warning for for Ptychospermas, is that the seeds, the fruit itself carries oxycalcite crystals, which are going to act a lot like fiberglass, in that if you touch them barehanded, they'll actually, they'll actually make little miniature cuts in your finger and will kind of itch or burn like fiberglass will if you touch it with your bare hands. So handle these with gloves if you do collect seeds off of Ptychospermas. Not all the species in Ptychosperma have this problem, but I don't remember which species do and which don't. It's better just to use a little bit of caution. I can tell you guys a funny story about at Fairchild. There's the common fishtail palm, Caryota, and all of its all the species in that genus, they all have oxycalcite crystals in their fruit. So one person decided they wanted to collect some seed and did not want anyone to know about it. They didn't have I guess they didn't have the pockets, so they like wearing gym shorts. They put them in their underwear, and well, after a little bit of walking, a little bit later, the guy found out the hard way about just how much oxycalcite crystals can hurt, and he had to take an ambulance to the hospital. So use caution when collecting this seed. I'll just leave it there. So this palm, like I said, came back from basically being frozen down to the ground. 2010 was a rough year, and I'm going to talk more about cold damage, cold hardiness, and how to do a little bit of protection based on what I've done here in Florida in another vlog. But we can discuss that to kind of push the zone that you live in. So this is a pretty vigorous grower. I'd say it's moderately fast, like a 1 out of 10. I give it a 7.5. And the seed is going to look like a little oval kind of, it's going to have wings on it that has it's not going to be spherical or ovoid. It's going to be just kind of, how can I explain? Looks like a regular, just a little nut with some edges on it. So they're very easy to germinate. Decent draining mix, lots of water, lots of heat, and you will have yourself some seedlings of Ptychosperma. They are not hard to grow. They like it hot and humid. They will tolerate some drier conditions, but they won't look as good as they will, like for example here, where they're in a low-lying area. So great landscape palm, easy to grow, not as common as the others, but here's a better example of its terminal leaf. You can see that entire leaf there. Now that's on a smaller clump, but here's another one. And they're a little bit leathery, they're a little bit thicker. They have a nice feel to them. The crown shafts can get kind of a whitish color when younger. And yeah, it's a beautiful plant. It's great to see this plant 12 years later from when I gave it to him originally as a 3-gallon. So hope you enjoyed this vlog. If you did, hit the like button. If you have any questions or comments about Ptychospermas or this species in general, go ahead and leave a comment down below. And if you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. And I will see you guys next time.